Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. So I want to go through some basic SEO work, and y'all pop in with questions. Some of you have seen me do SEO before. Some of you have never heard this. Okay, who has never heard or done anything with SEO? That's good. Okay, this whole tribe should be further along. Who thinks they're on a scale of 1 to 10 around a 5 with SEO? Okay, who thinks they're around an 8? Okay, well, that's good. That's fine. Dawn, you had asked me to work on Andrea's site today as an example, but I don't see Andrea on here.
I had, and that means she should be here, so I will make sure that occurs.
Okay, because I have her site up here. I was going to talk about a specific site and kind of go through that and give you some examples. If Andrea doesn't hop on, I will take any of y'all's sites that you want me to look at and kind of run a diagnosis on it. Anybody want to put their site in the chat, and I can use you in a very kind way to show what might be working and what might be improved? Nikki, anybody? Ashley? Okay, so we have a volunteer from the audience. Okay, we have 2 volunteers from the audience. Okay, we'll try this one first, and then we'll go through the second one. And if Andrea, oh, okay.
And she's here.
Okay, let me do Andrea first, and then I'll do Gazzardo. Is that how you say it? Okay, and then Nikki. Andrea, come online.
Andrea, are you with us? Unmute.
Yes, I just unmuted. Hold on 1 second. I even did my hair and my face today, so.
Okay, great. Hello. So the reason we were kind of waiting for you is Dawn had asked me to use your website kind of as a prototype for what we're talking about today. Do you think that's agreeable?
Totally, go for it.
Okay, cool. Good, bad, indifferent. I don't want to make anybody embarrassed or upset if I don't want anybody to feel picked on, but we're going to talk about websites, okay?
Great.
And then after this, we got a couple other folks volunteered their sites, and we'll work on those as well. So let me get everybody back up here. So you have a luxury presence site, it looks like?
Exactly correct.
Okay. And can I ask for the audience, what are we paying for that each month?
I think it's semi-subsidized by Compass. And I feel like it's something around $950 a year.
A year?
Something like that. I could be remembering incorrectly.
Okay, cool. So I always suggest somebody, and this is not directed at anybody in specific, that you always have your own technology. I am not a proponent of tying to the brokerage's technology for 2 reasons. 1, how many people have ever moved to brokerage? 2, let's say that the broker has you on luxury image or whatever, and then they get a call from Boomtown tomorrow, and Boomtown says, we'll do all your agents' websites for half price. And so your broker decides to shift all the technology from company A to company B, and everything you built is wiped out. Now, the good news is, I think if something happened, you would be able to pick up the luxury presence and just pick it up on your own.
I believe that's the case.
Yeah, that's fine. So I have a series of questions I put all the sites through, so I'm just going to run through the series of questions here. And thank you for volunteering to be the person we can talk about today. So the first thing I look at is the URL a proper name, or is it a descriptive of the area? Because if somebody's moving to Dallas, Texas, it's probably more memorable to have something like I have Texas Pride Realty than Bob McCraney, because people misspell my last name all the time. You know, they won't know who I am. I just think it's more memorable sometimes to have a geographically descriptive name. The other thing I like to do is go look up. So you're in the Los Angeles area. Now there's going to be a lot of competition for Los Angeles URLs, but I'll just go here and say Los Angeles homes for sale. And I'll start looking, for sale, Bob. If you could spell, it'd be lovely. Los Angeles homes for sale. Please don't penalize me for spelling. I use a product called Keywords Everywhere, and it will tell me the top keywords for this. And then I go to GoDaddy and I look at those keywords and I see which of these are available. Just because it doesn't help your search rankings, I just think it's more memorable and it's more sellable later. If I own Bob McCraney, which I do, and I use Bob McCraney as my website and everything, If I retire and somebody tries to buy my business, it's hard to sell them as Bob McCraney, but they could pick up Texas Pride Realty, buy it, and they could be running and nobody would see the difference. So just think about that as you're building longevity. Okay, so that's number one. It is a proper name, which is fine. So next I look to see if your site has metadata behind it. Now, metadata tells Google what your site is about. Meta keywords and meta description are really what I'm looking for the most. I'm going to do view page source. If you click on any site, don't click on a photo, click on the white space, right click and do view page source. You can see the code behind the site. Okay. And this is real geeky here. And I just do control find, control F, and I want to look for the word description. Now I'll tell you, I looked a few seconds ago, they have a nice description for you. Okay. Trusted real estate agent, Los Angeles, a holistic approach. One thing I would do is I'd mention Los Angeles twice. Most meta descriptions you see that rank high mention the topic twice. Okay. Now I know Los Angeles is just like Dallas and Fort Worth. There's multiple suburbs. I mean, I tell people I live in Dallas because they don't know where Carrollton, Texas is. Okay. But I really want people to think about their website as not just being one page, as being multiple spike pages. So I have a site that's specifically to Dallas when you land on it, but I have pages for Plano, Carrollton, Garland, Louisville. All the suburbs have their own pages, which become landing sites of their own. So I like the fact that you centralize the meta description on one city rather than saying, you know, in the Los Angeles area, or for like folks, the Twin Cities. If people are in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, be Minneapolis, be St. Paul, have a separate page for the other one. Because when you're vague, Tom Ferry will tell you, the world will punish the vague request and reward the specific ask. When you talk about a large vague space, like if I said DFW, not as effective as if I'm talking about Dallas and then I'm talking about Fort Worth. So good for you for being on it on Los Angeles. I would just mention it twice in here.
Okay, so how do I make that happen?
You go into the behind the scenes of the website and there's probably some fields you can change. And if you don't know where that is, get with me and I'll work out a tech hour with you.
Okay.
One thing you can do is if you Google Los Angeles homes for sale, normally the top two results are going to be Zillow or a Realtor. Redfin every once in a while pops up in here. I like to look at Realtors results because, you know, if they're in the top 2 or 3 all the time, they must know what they're doing. It's kind of like the theory that if I run Burger King, I don't have to do any market research. I just find a McDonald's and put a Burger King next to it, right? That's why you see a CVS and a Walgreens and a Walgreens and a CVS. Okay. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal this one here. I'm going to say, instead of a number, I'll say view all the homes for sale in Los Angeles at a median price and I'll put for all buyers. See pricing details for Los Angeles real estate for sale. They're mentioning the city twice. I take the numbers out so you don't have to update it every 10 minutes. I just kind of paraphrase it, but I like to steal from Realtor. If Realtor ever watches my videos, I'm stealing from you, come after me. So the meta description is working really well for you. The keywords, you don't have keywords here. And some people will tell you in SEO world, well, keywords aren't a thing anymore. Google doesn't rank by keywords. That's nice. Because Trulia and Zillow and Realtor all still have keywords. When they get rid of their keywords, I'll get rid of mine. And I can show you on my site, when I change my keywords, my ranking changes. So to me, it's kind of like if you're going to show homes in a subdivision, let's say there's Palisades as a subdivision, and you're showing a home on, you know, Stevens Street, 123 Stevens Street. If you get to Palisades and none of the streets have street names and none of the houses have numbers, you don't know what page to go to, basically. So give every one of your pages unique metadata and meta descriptions and meta keywords. So my Plano page has different keywords than my Carrollton page, has different keywords than my Louisville page. All of them are individually keyed, so that when somebody gets to my site, Google can send them right to where they need to go. Make sense?
So give each page keywords twice, you said.
Yeah, keywords mentioning the area twice. So give me suburbs of Los Angeles. I know there's Irvine. I know there's
no, that's too far. So Beverly Hills,
that's too far.
Beverly Wood, Westwood, Century City.
Yeah, so I would have each one of those with different meta description, different meta keywords.
How do you do that?
You go into the.
Can you go back to my page?
Yes.
Scroll up, please, hit the menu,
Okay,
and it says neighborhoods there.
okay,
Scroll down, please. So
Okay.
now I've got all these neighborhoods here.
let's pick on Beverly Hills because they're bougie. And we're gonna right click on them. We're gonna look at the keywords here.
Excuse me, Bob, Andrea, what's the city you primarily work in?
I, as you know, am more demographic than geographic. I live in Beverlywood. My office is in Beverly Hills.
There we go.
Okay, so what I would do here, the epicenter is renowned retail, Rodeo Drive, Los Angeles, main attractions. Does it say Beverly Hills in here? No, not in the
No.
description.
No.
So think about that. You're telling us some nice details about Beverly Hills, but
Uh-huh.
it's not saying this page is about Beverly Hills.
Okay, so I'm not sure I'm clear. This what you're looking at right now? 1 second. All right, so I change it here or I change it on the back end?
In your website should have a designer backend page that you can go in and change.
The other one that we were just looking at,
Every page should have a designer backend.
right?
You should have an ability to change the Bel Air page, the Beverly Hills page, the Century City page. They should all be in the back side of this website. There should be a way to affect each of these pages individually, including your home page.
Mhm.
Each of those will need some detail.
Without changing this page?
The home page gets Los Angeles.
Uh-huh,
These other pages get the cities they're about.
right.
Make sense?
I think so.
Okay.
Wow.
We could do a tech hour if you need to. We can do a tech hour.
Amazing. I would love
Okay.
that. Yes,
Okay.
please.
So you don't have keywords, you do have descriptions. The fact that you have at least half of it, descriptions, that's good. It looks like whoever set this up for you did give you descriptions on each of the pages, but they're not specific about what the page is. It seems West Hollywood. Now you might suspect why I would go to West Hollywood, but I won't mention it. Okay, view page source. Thank you for laughing near me and at me.
No, with you, darling.
WeHo. I'm assuming WeHo is West Hollywood slang.
It is.
Let me tell you that Google does not do jokes.
Okay.
Google does not, like, I had some stuff that was pithy and funny. Google does not understand humor or abbreviations. West Hollywood.
Okay.
Okay. West Hollywood, also known as WeHo, may be something you would say, but I mean, honestly, Google's not going to understand that.
Understood.
Yeah. And, just, we need Google with a sense of humor.
Bob, if I can ask a question, that Andrea might be thinking about going back to the code, the page before that you were just on.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
If she was to add in the words Hollywood, West Hollywood, Los Angeles twice, as you're talking about, it would. Nope. Would it
Go ahead.
happen on the, hold on, let me ask the question. Would it happen on the page we're on right now looking? Would you simply type it in there, or would the people that run her website go in somewhere else and input it so it showed up here?
It depends on how techie she is. On the back end of the website, there should be a way for you to modify your pages. They should have a user interface that you can go in, say you wanted to add a page for another area, and you would just go in and define it, and then it would look like a web page once you were finished. I know in the Real Geeks world how to go in and change things, and it just shows up on my site pretty. You should have that back end interface, which I don't know for Luxury Presence what it looks like, but I'd be happy to try to push through it with you at some point. But whether Luxury Presence gives you the ability to change the description, I would suspect it does, because somebody changed this for you. That's not out of the box. And whether Luxury Presence gives you a keyword ability, and that would be a question for the vendor.
Okay.
Makes
Thank
sense?
you.
Is that, am I getting there? Okay. Okay, so next thing I'm looking for is, I'm going to go back to your home page here. Great picture of you, by the way. I
Thank
want to
you.
just do a Google.
Photoshop.
I just want to do a search. Did you say Photoshop?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I want to just
Photoshop.
search properties randomly. Where would I go for that? Would that be properties?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I have, I don't have what's it called? IDX?
Oh,
I don't have IDX.
you probably do have it. This has to be an IDX of some sort to let people in. So let's say I go to Beverly Hills. Are these all your listings? Or this is just
No,
a,
this is just a description.
oh. So you don't have the ability to search for homes here.
Correct.
Boy.
Oh,
Okay.
sound like my people.
Cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
So
I think we're going to get along just fine, Bob.
I think we will too. I would urge you, I have never seen a luxury presence site not have full IDX. That's interesting to me.
Okay.
That's kind of a handicap, because let's say somebody wants to troll through and just look at a lot of houses. They're getting brochureware, but they're not getting the information they need.
Correct. And my thinking behind that was I wasn't putting any firepower behind my website. So why spend or invest in the IDX connection if nobody's going to look at it anyway? That was sort of my mindset.
I mean, why have open houses? Nobody's going to come to them. It's just a waste of my time.
So for other reasons, I don't have open houses, but okay. Can I? I have them. I don't host them. Correct. Thank you for correcting me. Can you do that same thing that you did, please, with the divorce resources and the probate resources?
Okay. You mean go to those pages?
Go to those pages, but look at the back end thing that you have. You do? Yeah, that.
It's okay. Divorce resources is the title. Who you hire matters in divorce real estate. At some point after divorce, there becomes a new normal, chance to heal and recoup. Okay.
So we say divorce twice.
You do. But
Okay.
let's see what people are looking for.
So if you punch that in, well, let's see what happens. Okay.
Oh, look at you. You come up in your Google My Business real strong there.
Yes. And I did that completely organically, and I had no idea I was doing it when I did it.
Good job.
I mean, I did that on purpose. I knew exactly what I was doing. I have no idea what I was doing.
So the top keywords would be divorce records, Los Angeles County, divorce real estate leads, divorce records, Los Angeles County, divorce lawyer. You're not a lawyer, but you could use a keyword, divorce records, Los Angeles. So these would be keywords related to divorce in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Wife has boyfriend before divorce. Okay, that's a ranking keyword. I'm not sure I'd want it on my website.
No.
And sometimes you find keywords that are funny, like real estate will be misspelled. And then the quandary becomes, do I use the misspelled real estate word because it ranks and look like I'm a fool? Or do I correct it and use a term that isn't ranking because most people don't know how to spell it?
Mm-hmm.
So that one does has decent meta description there. The other one you wanted me to look at was probate.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I rank as high here. But those are some cute kids, huh?
Yeah. I was just wondering why the younger generation would want probate unless you're just wanting them to think, oh, my grandkids need to inherit.
Because people my age, and I'm a very young, what did I heard somebody say, like on the dark side of my 50s or something.
Oh, I don't like that phrase. Okay.
Yeah, it was much better, however she phrased it. Have parents' homes and aunt and uncles' homes to deal with. And that's usually who my client is. My client in the probate universe is in their 50s and 60s.
Gotcha.
Family member's house in most cases.
Okay, so your probate page has the exact same meta description as your divorce page. So you're actually saying two houses on the same street or the same house number.
Uh-huh.
So that could be something you could easily fix.
Okay, hold on. Let me take a screenshot of that so I can. But
or I can send you the recording of this through Dawn afterwards.
Yes.
Both. Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Huh.
So since you don't have an IDX, can we test somebody else's site and do a little further probing with IDX work?
So that I'm out of the hot seat then? Go for it.
You are out of the hot seat if you're good with that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. This has been really very fascinating. And you kind of, you could title this like back end for dummies or something, because you broke it down to simple.
Well, good. I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that.
Thank you very much. And I will absolutely take you up on that offer.
Okay, let's do a tech hour and I can try to delve into the other side of your business there. Okay.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
And it's Gazzardo team. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
First time caller, long time listener? Okay,
That's right.
so what do we have here? What brand of site is this?
It's a Chime site.
Chime, okay. The Chimes of Midnight. Okay, Chime is one of the two brands I like the most. Okay. And again, with the URL, whether it's personal name or descriptive, it's a personal name. And that's fine.
We have Discovery Bay homesforsale.com, which goes to there as well.
Does it forward or does it?
It forwards unmasked because I wasn't sure where to mask it or unmask it because I kind of looked, it seemed like Google penalized you for masking, but I wasn't sure.
It kind of does, but could I suggest that reversing the strategy may be the better way to do it? Make this, what was the name, the other one you had?
Discovery Bay Homes for Sale.
Make this Discovery Bay Homes for Sale and have Gazzardo team forward to that. Flip the two. The reason being is one is sellable later if you decide to retire. I know you're only 25, but someday you'll want to. And then, you know, it won't be predicated on your personal name. Think about it, possibly.
Gotcha.
Okay.
We have 30 sites that feed to this site.
Oh, excellent. Okay, cool. Let me put these in the background here while I want these running in the background so we can come talk about them in a bit. Okay, so back to you here. Can I ask for the audience here, what are you paying per month for Chime? If you don't mind saying.
I believe it's about $400.
Yeah, usually they're about 400 to 450. So good for you on that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Right click. I'm going to look at your page source. I'm going to look for your meta description. Okay, browse real estate properties and homes for sale on Mike, Jules, and Jenny Gazzardo's website. View the latest housing. Okay, so we're not mentioning the area we're serving here. We're mentioning your.
That's the first thing I thought of when you started going through that. So I've not set up the meta at all.
Okay.
I didn't know if it automatically pulled that or not. Now that you were telling Andrea all you did, I'm like, I'm making a lot of notes back here on things I need to do. And I know where to do it. I know exactly where to go to do it.
Chime is pretty good at SEO stuff.
Yeah.
They're a little kludgy on their URLs, and I'll show you that in a minute, but they're pretty good on the meta stuff. Let's see what they've got for you on keywords. If I can spell keywords right, it would be okay. Discovery Bay, California, Discovery Bay Waterfront, Discovery Bay Homes. Discovery Bay is obviously where you're at.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Otherwise we're way out of line here. So Discovery Bay Homes for Sale. No, Bob, I'm in Alaska. I just like to advertise other places. Okay, so you're going to have here, I'm using keywords everywhere, which is an extension on Chrome. And every penny you have. Okay, they have 25 keywords. Okay, and so I'm going to go on here. You could literally just go on and copy their keywords.
Right.
And put them in for yourself.
Okay.
Okay, when you copy the keywords, take out the .com off Realtor because you're not Realtor.com. You are Realtor. If you see Zillow in here, take Zillow out because they are a brokerage. The code of ethics requires that we don't have deceptive keywords. So if I'm Keller Williams, I can't put Century 21 in my keywords.
Right.
Okay. Before you could do it, and now you can't. So, but Realtor.com is not a Realtor. They're not bound by the code of ethics. They can do anything they want. But when we borrow their keywords, we need to wash them and be sure that we're not doing anything we shouldn't do. So I would just go grab those keywords and do that. Are these three places different? Discovery Bay Waterfront? I guess not. They're all
No. It's just different descriptors. If somebody types in Discovery Bay Waterfront Homes, I want them to see the site, right?
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Is this this is an embedded, this is not YouTube. This is something from the site itself. Okay.
Yeah, I've embedded some and I've clicked some out to YouTube, different reasons.
Okay.
Because we have a whole dockside chat series. So that's in YouTube.
The question is load time, and that's just some people squabble back and forth. I personally like to embed from YouTube and not try to load the video directly from my provider, just because I think it's going to give me a fraction of a split of a second load time faster. But since one
The
way
difference is now, so the difference is one of them, you don't have to click like that pre-rolls because it's loaded, right?
right.
If you do a YouTube link, it's a big ugly box with an arrow. You think there's a difference there? In
I
feel?
think I don't think the user experience is going to be that much worse. People are used to clicking on a YouTube and going to it.
Okay,
I think that this takes a little bit of load time extra.
okay,
And maybe it's just me. I want a site that's like the fastest I can make it because speed is a ranking factor. And I tell people my site is kind of like the Honda Accord that just keeps running. It's not as pretty as a Lamborghini or a Tesla, but it's not as expensive as either one of those either. And it's going to last me forever.
right.
Okay. Those of you who have a Honda, please say yes, because I have a Toyota, but you get where I'm going. Okay. Okay. So the next thing I want to look at is your keywords. You did not have keywords, but you have meta description. Keywords. Oh, you do have keywords. Yes, you do. I'm so sorry. I just said no. Yes. Okay. Dynamic URL. And I know that Chime has a dynamic URL or what's called a query string URL. So we're going to do search for homes. I want to show you what this is about. Now, one thing that Chime does do that is it slows the site down. Do you see how long it's taking to render this map? It's going to come. Now, when you do a speed test on Chime sites, the speed test comes back lightning fast. But as human beings, we're sitting here watching it just paint the screen. So I don't know what Chime is doing to subvert the speed test to say, hey, I'm super fast, when we're visually watching it just be slow as Christmas.
It just, I wonder if I can have it load without the map. I'll call them and find out.
If you can just get it to a list, it may be better. So let's say give me a Discovery Bay. So let's say I want to be in Discovery Bay, and it's going to make me load again before I can even say I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool. So now I got to go over here and find the other elements I want. Okay, some sites will let you put in the whole Discovery Bay, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, then search.
Yeah, I think if you go to the homepage, it'll do that.
Let's do that.
And then right below the video, like literally right below, right there.
Search for homes. That's exactly where I was.
I think, oh, okay, then I'm wrong.
No, that's okay. We discover together. So I'm here. I'm going to say, let's try Oakley. I'm going to type Oakley, California, and it's going to make it repaint real quick. And then I can pick the other elements I want. And I'm just thinking of, like, you know, the younger generation. Are they going to sit here through all the repaints?
Right.
Sorry, young people, I'm picking on you.
I'm gonna take a look at the mobile and see how that renders with the same thing.
Right. So there would be a question too. So, but what I want you to see here, as far as the extendable URL I'm checking for, it is here. City name is equal to Oakley. Keywords, max price. I said a max price of 800,000, which I know for California is super cheap. 3 bedrooms. This is a programmable query string URL. You could take this, copy it. You could then take that and put that as your Google My Business as a product. See all the 3-bedroom houses in Oakley, California at this link. If you pick something in here like houses with pools or open houses this weekend, click this link to find out which open houses are coming in Oakley, California. That would be a blog post. That would also be an opportunity for a Google My Business post.
Love it.
Yeah. So what you're doing is creating the deep links. Andrea, if you're still on, this is why you need an IDX, so that you can create product and you create topics that people can click on, and you want to drive them deep into the site, not just to the homepage.
I am listening very intently, Bob.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So that's why you want to have something, and it has to have this style of URL. Okay, the only site that I know that does not do this, or it's a real struggle to get it, is Sierra Interactive. They don't have the extendable URL. And I've tried and tried and tried. Every once in a while, I can pop one and make it work, but usually they just do. You'll have a site that comes up and just says /results. .asp. It looks, yeah. You'll get
how long once you change the metadata does Google take to index things, or have it show up?
probably a couple days.
Okay.
You have a sitemap on your page?
Don't know.
Okay, you go to, at some point, write down pro-sitemaps.com. pro-sitemaps.com. Sitemaps help Google not have to spend time crawling your site. Sitemaps will crawl the site and submit it to Google and say, here it is in the format you want. Don't worry about us, we're good. And that way, when you change your sitemap, it can get in a little bit faster because Pro Sitemaps is submitting it for you. It does cost a little bit of money, but why not do that?
Yeah, okay.
So this is good. You have the extendable URL. That's incredibly important. Yes. That really, if you don't have the dynamic URL, it's not a good site for you. Now, the next question, does it force you to sign in? House number
What
one.
if I made it? I haven't set it 5 minutes.
5 minutes or 5 houses?
5 minutes.
Can you
So
ask that question again, please?
Okay, I'm asking, does it force me to sign in?
No, the gentleman.
So I have it set for 5 minutes. So I can set the amount of seconds till somebody has to sign in on the
Okay,
back
so-
end.
Oh, I see.
So let's say you run a clothing store and you sell men's suits. For 5 minutes, I can run in and shop and grab everything off the rack and run out the door for 4 minutes before I have to pay for anything. Thank you. I'm going to steal every suit I can in 5 minutes, and then I'm going to bounce somewhere else. I'm going to have a lot of suits because I'm just stealing your houses right now. And you have no idea I'm prowling your site. Make them
So
sign
your,
in.
sug- so your suggestion is sign in upon
The
load?
first house.
Okay.
My site's one house, and you get asked. And if you don't want to give it to me, get off my site. And you know what? People are used to now giving up their digits. That's the currency of the land. You want to be on my site, you give up digits. And some people will put in Mickey Mouse BS stuff, but then we track down their IP address and we find them on Facebook and we become their friends. And you know, they buy a house for money. So that would be for sign in would definitely need to be a yes. And I know that's a toggle on Chime. I think you just maybe have it turned off. Okay, so now come back to your homepage here. And open. This is where the latency is a little slow. I'm just going to homepage. I'm not even rendering a map. I think that may be the video loading up.
I never had a problem like that on mine, so I'm not sure what's up.
Okay, I'm going to just reload again and see if I can make it pop. I think the water got tired and went home.
A lot of water, Bob, a lot of water. Have you
A lot
seen
of
the
water
news?
there. So that came up lower, but that's still spinning up there. Okay, so what I was looking for is, do we have are these your featured listings?
Yes,
Okay, so
the first two are.
okay, fabulous. And then I guess maybe the rest are brokerage or something.
Correct.
Okay, so again,
Or
There-
not brokerage, no, they're actually just MLS after ours.
okay, but your two show up. If I list my home with an agent, I want to see my home on their website.
Yep.
And so having the featured listing show up is really good. And it can be a link like mine. It's a link off the page that shows everything we have, but at least I can show my people I'm trying to sell your house, not just any random house. So that's good. Buyer and seller tips. I always look to see if the buyer and seller tips are yours, or is this just the stock text that came with the site? Let's see what comes up here. Oh, these, okay, they're their videos. So they're going to be your personal videos.
That's right.
Okay, that's good. And do we just have one, or does it go to a playlist?
It'll go to a playlist after that finishes, I believe.
Is there any text below this that's maybe not rendering yet?
No,
Okay. Okay. So Google will reward the uniqueness of a site that you wrote yourself versus having canned stuff. So that's good. Seller information, is it similar? Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
that's
so-
it right there.
So does this go to HomeBot, or does it stay within Chime?
Stays within Chime.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have both of those. Last thing I'm going to ask you about is biography. Do you have a biography, and do you have
Yeah.
testimonials on here? So you're about,
And we have a client video as well below that on that other link.
okay. So there's the about you. Licensed since 1990. Okay, great. And there's the-
Internet, it was a phone book.
I'm sorry.
MLS was a phone book.
Okay, yes, it was. Those were the days. Any other questions you have for me on this?
No, you've given me quite a few things to work on. You know, we've been working on a lot of cool things, but the most important things are the things we left out.
Can I urge you though to make this just a static picture? Because the videos are cool. When you have swans and dancers in the background, it's just killing load time.
Yeah.
It's just killing load time. And on mobile phones, if somebody's on 4G instead of 5G, and I can tell you probably 70% of the searches are going to be on mobile, this looks pretty to the human eye. It's not helping your Google.
Right.
And there are so many brands out there, IDX brands out there, that sell you the IMAX movie playing in the background of happy shoppers and houses and stuff. It's just killing your site.
What's interesting is even my mobile is loading in less than 4 seconds.
Okay,
You're-
well,
you're
good.
but I'll take a look at that. You're right. I mean, that's an awful long load time for you. If it's long for you, it's probably long for a lot of other people.
Yeah, and I pay for high speed, so,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you for the tips. That's just
Sure.
good stuff.
I hope this is helpful.
Really good stuff.
We had one more person in the chat, and let me get back to the chat. And, oh, Nikki had to hop off. Okay, so we'll skip Nikki.
I have a question.
Oh, who?
Andrea.
Hello, Andrea.
Hi.
I'm sorry, I'm
So-
saying Andrea, not Andrea. My apologies.
Well, so it's pretentious, just the more pretentious way to put
Well,
it.
you are in West Hollywood, so yes.
Yes, I am. So thank you, darling. So what kind of business are you getting from making these changes? I mean, does your phone just ring because you've got all these doodads and doohickeys working in your favor?
Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to prove to you I'm not an analytical, and I have a chart that shows you exactly how non-analytical I am. This is
Oh, my husband.
this is my spreadsheet on the
Completely.
keyword terms that we're running on Google Ads and how many responses we have. But this is the page I want to show you. My paid Google ad is $600 a month. I run it through my IDX company, which is Real Geeks, and I don't get paid by any brand. This is just what I'm talking about, okay? And I have no problems if somebody does get paid by a brand, I would just openly disclose it. I started running the ad July 2020 because it was a pandemic and I had 15 agents to feed. And in the first month, they brought in the 50 that they promised me they would, and I brought in 41 organically. They brought in 53, 36, 52, 39, 58, 40. You see the trend here, and then 46, 46.
Mhm.
And I got
Oh,
a
now
green
you're
square.
switching.
And I poured myself a vodka drink and had a good night because I matched them. Okay.
Cheers.
And then over the next year, you see that I matched them. First 6 months, I matched them once. Then I matched them 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And I came close 2 other times. So that was a little bit more vodka drinks. And then in the last 12 months, I beat them 10 out of the 12 times. Here's my thesis. Do you remember when Facebook was the way we were supposed to do all of our ads? Facebook ads were great and we could subdivide them and do everything. And then HUD came along and beat the crap out of Facebook and said, no. And
Right.
Facebook says you may now only run a radius ad of 15 miles.
Right.
What happens when HUD comes to Google and says, screw you guys, you're messing up, and Google ads go to shit, pardon my French. Google ads go to shit, and all these brokerages that have IDX websites built on nothing but Google ads fold. I
Yeah.
want to have my organic so strong that it doesn't matter what the ad algorithm is.
Amen.
And how I'm doing it is I'm having searches defined. I'm having searches predefined and pages just laid out waiting for them. Okay, this is my site. It has the extendable programmable URL, but I've created pages for every city in Dallas, in the Dallas area by list price, by school zone, by all the rail sites around that. We have a light rail that's not great, but it's starting. Every zip code in the DFW area. These are my city pages. So let's pick on Capel. When Capel comes up here, you're going to see on the right side, I've got the Capel homes subdivided by price point, under 400, 400 to 600 and higher, homes with pools, new construction, acreages, corner lots, cul-de-sacs, golf courses, green belts, everything, non-HOA, HOA, lakefront. Because if somebody does do you know what a long tail keyword search is? Homes in Plano or homes in Capel is a short tail keyword search. It's only 3 words, homes in Capel. Homes in Capel on a cul-de-sac lot is a long tail. Okay, it's a longer search. Now it's more specific. Most people compete for the short keywords because there are a lot of people searching for that. but the more specific ones that pay off more. I want to have a site that already has those links defined, as many as I can think of, because I think Google's going to send it to a site that has the link defined rather than having a box that says, good luck finding it yourself. Okay. Question, yes.
Your sitemaps.com indexes this stuff easier for Google,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
Are you available every week for a half hour?
I can set up a billable rate. Yes, I can.
You are awesome.
I also
Yeah,
set up
rock
properties
star.
by styles, high rises, new home construction, new on the market, golf course homes. The one that really kicked off and I had no idea is mother-in-law plan. I had no idea so many people needed multi-generational houses, but
Wow.
that page is our best page every month nearly.
Wow.
Wow.
15
Wow.
14 counties that are around Dallas. I'm not going to drive to these counties, but I'm going to refer those out and make mailbox money because I can probably advertise better than the people in those counties. These are the 45 some odd high-rise buildings in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I would love to sell a luxury condo or 3. And then these are all the zip codes. There's 400 some odd zip codes that cover Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm up to about 130 of them so far. I make myself an adult beverage. I watch The Crown on Netflix and I code pages. And each one of these is subdivided. I have 75104. I don't know which area that is, but you'll see up here when it comes up, I've got it, and I put the name of the city with it because some people will search 75104 homes for sale, 75104 homes near Greenbelt, and they'll search the zip code. So my goal right now is to get through all my zip codes, all 400 of them, and get those coded. Then I'm going to go back through all the school zones, and I'm going to go school zones, subdivide them, school zones by, maybe by which high school they want, because, some people want to live in certain, and I'll put a big disclaimer, please God, double check the school zone. Don't just trust me, because you don't know if Sally Realtor put it in right. But my goal is to have so many links on my site that my site just blows up exponentially. This is why I'm so crazy and I have no friends.
Hey, Bob, you have plenty of friends and we all love the work you do. So keep it
Wow.
up, first of all.
Can I apply for the job of being your bestie?
Yes.
Bob, there's one more question. Latrissa.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. What do you think about sites like Boomtown?
I'm not going to talk about, I don't want to talk negatively about any site.
Okay.
What's the next
Latrissa,
question?
I think that non-answer answered your question. There you go.
Let me say this, if you're paying more than $450 a month, you're buying blinker fluid. Does everybody know what blinker fluid is? Okay, so grandma takes her car to the shop and, her left blinker is out and the guy comes up and says, honey, I'll give you blinker fluid. It fixes, this is really good blinker fluid. It fixes the left and the right blinker and the back blinkers will work better too. And it's only $400. And grandma drives home and calls Sonny and says, Sonny, I fixed the car today. I bought blinker fluid for $400. If you're paying more than about $450 a month, you're buying blinker fluid.
So I have a question. So with sites like Real Geeks, they are more catering to real estate agents, right? Is it better than creating your own WordPress type of
Yes.
site?
Yes, because WordPress
Why?
can't do IDX. Okay,
Okay.
so the MLS is a copyrighted proprietary database. They will only let 7 or 10 providers use that database, or whatever we're up to now. They
Okay.
will not let just random Joe person use the database. It has to be used in a way that matches what they need to keep their copyright and their proprietary nature. So instead of trying to rebuild the world and prove that you're your own IDX, go with one of these channels. Chime and Real Geeks. If you can afford $300 to $400 a month, Chime or Real Geeks. If you can afford $80 a month, Pro Agent Websites. They're the minimally competent site out there. And the thing with Pro Agent Websites is they don't cover everywhere across the country. So let's go to Pro Agent Websites. What you do is you go up to the order tab and just pull down this list and be sure it covers your area, because they don't have every MLS around the US. But they have, for $80 a month, a basic site that has an extendable URL that forces sign in that you can modify. When you get to be fabulous in the world, then you can upgrade to a better site and you'll have to rebuild, but you can upgrade. but I think for $80, that's not bad. But you can certainly do, if you get a Wix website or a WordPress or something like that, you're not going to be able to have the houses in it. And people are looking for the houses. Honest to God, I love everybody. They don't care about me. I can be the shiniest, brightest agent in the world. They want to see the pictures of the houses.
Right.
And then they'll learn to love me because I'm going to make them love me. Yeah. So $80 a month pro agent website, $350 a month, Real Geeks, 400-ish Chime. Any of those three is where I'd go. And if you want to spend more than that, great. Spend the rest of that on a Google ad. But I wouldn't spend it on a site company.
And just go directly to Google and do those do those ads,
If
right?
you can do Google ads on your own, great. Good for you. I screwed up my Google
But
ad
if-
account early on in life, and so I know not to touch the electric wires now.
So who do you go through again? Did I miss that?
The IDX provider, Real Geeks, runs it for me.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is fine, which is fine. The other thing I like about some IDX providers, and Real Geeks is one, I think Chime may do this as well, is they will tell you what they're running for their ads. So when I was showing you this chart here, this ad tab, this shows me what keywords they're running ads for me on. I could go out and run keywords on my own or run ads on my own with these keywords. I know that some website providers make you sign a non-disclosure that if they show you what they're doing with your own money, that you won't go behind their backs and take their research and do it. I'm like, I paid for the ad. I get to see what the ad runs, right? Real Geeks is like, here's your money, do it. So, and again, I'm not trying to promote one brand over another, but I'm also not going to talk negatively about a brand.
Okay.
Okay, so Agent Elite, $200. Carl, Carl, where are you? Are you on?
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, we got 12 minutes here. Do you want me to run your site?
Yeah, but if you can.
What's your site name? Could you put it in the
Chat.
chat here?
All right. No,
And
it is.
Andrea, West Side Divorce Agent. West Side Divorce Agent, that's a good one, possibly. You
So
might have,
I already own that. Should I change my URL to that? Or
possibly. Yeah,
I guess we
think
can talk about that.
that
on-
would be more memorable. That would be more memorable.
All right, now it's Carl's turn. Ooh, look how handsome Carl is.
Hello, hello. Okay, so we have a moving video in the background, which is possible speed issue here. I'm going to put you over here to speed test this one while we're working. So that was, I'm sorry, the 100% you just saw there was the Chime site we were just running. Chime, the speed checks come back at 100%, but you can sit there and watch them load. And that's the interesting thing. I don't know what they're doing to get around the speed test. So this is, which company did you say this was?
This is I work for a firm, so I have to have my name real everywhere. So
Agent Elite, though. Agent Elite is the one you're. Okay, so we're going to right click. We're going to look for meta description and keywords. And I like the fact that you have Gulf Coast real estate for sale. So it's a geographically named site. And if you ever want to sell it someday, somebody else could buy that and be the next you. Because we're building a business that someday we're going to want to sell. So meta description. Next. Where is your meta description? Field description, where's meta description? Let's go to meta. That's interesting. It's not showing me your meta description right away. Here we go. Maybe it's at the top. Title, Gulfport, Mississippi real estate. Do you have the ability on the back end to change your meta descriptions and meta information?
no,
No?
I actually had someone set this up for me. I haven't had a chance to or actually I don't know if I can get access to it. It's just something I send in and they change it.
Okay, so keywords equals null right now. There's no keywords. I'm not seeing meta description on here. So that would be a concern because you want to have that in there so that Google, and I shouldn't just say Google anymore because Bing is going to become a big player. Things are going to happen. You're going to want to get into the meta on this and be able to have it show up on the search engines. Okay, so that would be something I'd look at here. Next thing I want to see is do you have a dynamic URL start your home search and give me a city that you think I should look at.
Ocean Springs.
Ocean Springs. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to click. Okay, good. So see, this is different than Chime. Chime would have taken me into Ocean Springs and rendered the map. This one's letting me pick a few more things, and then I only sit through one search. Would 450,000 get me a nice house?
Yeah, it will.
Can you get me pre-approved this afternoon? That'd be great. Okay.
Yes, I can.
I was working with somebody on their Delaware website today, and while I'm doing this, one of their agents picked up the phone and called me. And we sat there with the manager of the company listening to his agent prospect me. It was great. Okay, so that loads up. And again, we have the map rendering here. So it's got to render the map. And does it drop pins on the map afterwards? There's the pins. Okay, cool. So I didn't count that in, but that took a little time to render. I'm going to click on the first house. And it's a lot. There's a latency here. See how it's painting everything?
Mhm.
And it's powered by iHome Finder. That's interesting. So it's literally like at least 10, 15 seconds there. Let's go to the next house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Wow.
15. That is dead in internet time. That's just dead in internet. Here's third house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Same.
If this was on a mobile phone, would people be waiting for this?
No,
Or would they bounce to another site?
they'll
So
go
you
to.
I'm still running through your store and stealing all the stuff off your shelves so far. So nobody knows I'm here. I want to see, I'm going to sit through one more house and see if it comes up. Okay, that actually came up a little faster. It must be listening to me being grumpy. Okay, but it still has not forced. Do you know if you have the ability to force a sign in?
Yes, I do. I think it had it on there in the beginning, and they pulled it off because they was trying to fix the delay issue, but they never added it back on, and I haven't went back and checked. So
What delay issue are they trying to solve? Because there's obviously still a delay issue.
it was actually taking a lot longer than that to load.
Boy, okay. So for $200, add another 100 or something to it, or take 100 off and go with the other one of the three choices.
Real Geeks.
Real Geeks for 150 more, or go down to $80 a month and go to Pro Agent.
Okay.
But yeah, this is no bueno. So now usually at the top, there's a little link to go back to the homepage. There's no back to the homepage link at the top here. So to get back to your homepage, oops, I have to go back to, I just went off the site here. I'd have to go back and change the URL and get back to the homepage this way. But okay, so back to the question, I was trying to decide if it had an extendable URL. It does. It's got a city ID equal, and then a price, and then the bedroom counts. Now, the thing with the city ID equals, I don't understand why they don't just say Ocean Point or Ocean Springs. Like in my world, Rogue Geeks world, city equals Garland. It's not city equal a code. And the code is never equal to their zip code. It's not the same because sometimes zip codes span different cities. Some zip codes can go over multiple cities. Some of these sites have different naming codes for their cities, and it really makes it hard to program. So let's see if I change this to 1-1 from 1-2. Let's see what city we get. What you're going to have to do if you're going to program this site is you're going to have to figure out the codes behind the cities you want, and then write your dynamic your dynamic tags around that. So apparently that was not a city. I apparently have gone to some place that they don't know about, which is fine. But does it make sense what I'm saying, Carl?
Well, yes, it does. It does. I'm writing it all down too. Meta description, less time for render, latency problem. Basically, it has everything wrong with it.
Do you have a contract with them?
No, I can exit out of the contract at any time. Oh, actually, I was in the contract, but they never renewed the contract.
Okay.
I've been with you now, so.
Okay, think about it, because it's really hard to turn, you know, one site into a better site. This is how they wrote it. It's sometimes better to just go with the better site.
Okay.
So, any other questions on this? We got 4 more minutes. I want to show you all one more thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Sorry, I was looking for the unmute. So the city code, is that something that I need to worry about or just for his site?
No, Chime also had a city code, I believe.
Do I need to do something with that?
You would need to figure out your city codes so that you can break them down and be like, you know, let's go back to your site real quick.
I missed that part.
I'm pretty sure
Another-
this is city code URL. Oh, no, yours actually had a site. I'm sorry, it had a city name. I apologize. Let's double check that here. Search for homes. Open. And let's go to Discovery Bay. And you'll see up here Discovery Space Bay. %20 is ASCII code basically, or it's not ASCII, but it's code for space. Anytime you see $20, it means space.
Okay.
Okay. I think $2C or whatever means comma. So this is saying Discovery Bay, comma, California. But in some, so you have almost natural language, but you have the weirdness in between.
So when I'm putting meta tags or keywords in there, I just use natural language.
Just use natural language. Go grab
Okay.
the keywords off realtor.com. Okay. Too much, too little, too late?
Awesome.
Anybody
All
else?
the right things. Good job, Bob. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you with one thing. And I've got to jump here right off the top here. Bing.
Yes.
Bing is this little search engine that Microsoft has that nobody pays attention to because we're all worshiping Google right now. Bing is about to buy ChatGPT. If you don't know what ChatGPT is, I will have a second call with you at some point. But if they buy ChatGPT, or it looks like it's going to go through, this search engine is going to kick Google in the gut until Google figures it out.
Well,
If you want ads on Bing, you need to have your Bing Places set up. So go to bingplaces.com and grab your business profile. It's very much like Google My Business. I will warn you in here though, when you set up your site, it will say, do you want to sync to Google My Business? Do not sync to Google My Business, because one of the things in the terms of service it says is they can delete your Google My Business. They're asking for the right to add to, modify, or delete. Don't just set it up separately. You'll have to compose to one to the other, but never in your life let something else go delete your Google My Business. And you'll know it'll be some developers, oh, we're so sorry. We didn't mean to cause a mistake. We just took down our competitor. So set this up, do it as a new user, claim your business, and start on that. If you want to run ads on Bing, Yahoo, or DuckDuckGo, which is a new one that doesn't follow you. DuckDuckGo, you can look up stuff, and if you look up raincoats, you're going to see raincoats on every site you go to for the next 3 days, right? DuckDuckGo does not follow you. But if you want to run ads on any of those 3 sites, you run the ad on Bing, because Bing is the advertising provider for Yahoo and DuckDuckGo. And this is a small percentage of searches. I mean, Google is still the major search engine, but I'd love to be a big fish in a small pond, because it costs a lot of money to be a big fish in a big pond. And if they buy ChatGPT, the world is just going to change.
Bob, you're awesome. And I am your timer. Get out of here. You have an appointment.
Yes, I do.
Incredible.
Love you, Bob.
Incredible.
Have a great weekend,
I'll send the
everybody.
video out.
Thank you so much.